All right, today we are factoring trinomials. So remember a trinomial, x squared minus x minus 12. That's an example of a trinomial. And remember that we get a trinomial by factoring, or by multiplying, two binomials together. So for example, if I multiply x minus 4 times x plus 3, these two multiply together to give you x squared. These two multiply together, let's do this, to give you 3x, and so on. Negative 4x, and then finally negative 12. We add these two together, and these two always give you this middle term. So those two multiply together, and this guy just did this one, is that. So factoring is the undoing of multiplication. And if you remember what trinomials look like to begin with, this will be a lot easier. So when we look over here, this is an example of our first trinomial. We are going to be using what's called the guess and check method. So first thing we're going to do is we know this is a trinomial, so we're going to guess as to what what letters and numbers go in. So we know the first two always have to multiply to that. And we know the second two always have to multiply to this one, to the third, or the number in the trinomial. So I could pick any numbers that I want that multiply to 8. So we look at 8. 8 is 1 and 8, 2 and 4. And that's it. Now, as a rule, I generally pick the two numbers that are closest together numerically. So 2 and 4 is closer together than 1 and 8, so I would pick 2 and 4. So that's my guess. I guess the numbers before I do the signs. So I don't even bother with signs yet. And now I do the check. We will make this a quicker check in the future. But to begin with, if you have, haven't seen this in a while, this is a good thing to do. So we know these two already and these two already. We planned it that way. Now we have to make sure that these two multiply to negative 6x. So these two multiply to 2x. This is 4x. Now they have to add to negative 6x. So the only way that's possible is if both of these are negative. Right now they add to 6x. So to make them negative 6, this one has to be negative and that one has to be negative. So these two now multiply together, this one and this one, still give me positive 8. So that's a final check that you have to do, making sure these two still multiply together to give you that one with the right sign. So I know that these both should be minus 4. That's it. That's a guess and check. So we just have to do this with other examples. So here we are. I'm going to pick a different color. So I'm going to guess. Okay, these two multiplied together have to be x squared. And the two multiplied together has to be negative, but we don't care about the signs just yet. Have to be 30y squared. All right, the y squared may freak you out. But, so we just simply know that these two numbers are going to multiply to y. Y times y is going to give me y squared, so that's what I need. And trust that it's going to all work out in the end. So the numbers are 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and 5 and 6. Okay, so you can try 5 and 6 first. Okay, this is the guess. Generally, I always try the middle ones together. With numbers that don't have coefficients in front of the x squared, it's, you can kind of guess as what the number is. But I'm going to try 5 and 6 first, just to show you how it works. So here's the check. X and 5y. This is x squared. This is 6xy. This is 5xy. So you can see when you add these together, you're still going to get an xy, which is what we're looking for. So it works out the same as the last one we just did. We just need to find 13. Now, unfortunately, 6xy and 5xy add to 11xy. So that doesn't work out for us. So I have to erase. Bigger eraser. And I should have just erased less, but whatever. All right. So now it's not that one. So we can continue on, and we could try 33 and 10. Okay, everyone says, oh, this is the answer. It is not. Okay, I'm going to show you the small shortcut that we have. Now, we've already figured out that x times x is x squared. 3y times 10y is 30. So that's great. But these two, the outside and the inside, so this is the kind of quicker method. And you can do the box if you're feeling that, but I feel like we could do this right now. So multiply these two together and I get 3xy. Multiply these two together, I get 10xy. Great. Well, these adds at 13xy. Unfortunately, if I multiply, and make them positive, so these two would have to be positive. If I multiply these two together, the problem is if I do 3y and 10y together, I get positive 30y squared. Unfortunately, I need a negative, so it can't be these two numbers. So this is how guess and check works. As you get better and better at it, it becomes easier and easier to figure out. You just have to practice a little. You're going to hate me. Here we go. All right, so now that we're doing this, let's try 3 and 10 doesn't work, 5 and 6 don't work. How about 2 and 15? So as you can see, when you're doing this method, pencil is definitely a good idea. So let's try 2 and 15. So 2 times 15 is 30, and the y's make it y squared. So this is 2. This is 15. So 2 plus 15 is 17. We understand that. But if I make this a positive 15 and a negative 2, this becomes 13xy. Positive 13xy, which was what I want. So this one right here, I didn't erase that. Excuse me. Oh, doesn't erase. So use a different color. Pen is a bad idea. So that should be negative 2y and a positive 15y. These two now multiplied together is this negative 30y squared. So the first couple that we do, always a big pain in the knuckles. However, I feel like this way is the easiest way and the quickest way for you to learn in the future. So try the next one and we'll come back and see how you did. All right, this is what I got. And if you multiply these together, these two here is 4y. These two here is negative 7y. When you add them together, you get negative xy, excuse me. You get negative 3xy, which is what we're looking for right there. So, more you do this, the better you'll get at it. Now, you're like, Ms. Barris, I know shortcuts. Well, yeah, but I taught it that way so that this way would just flow from it. So, 2x squared now. So now this time this becomes a 2. So things change. And then we have these two multiplied together has to be a 6. So remember 6's factors are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And I always say try the 2 and the 3 first. Now I would never put a 2 right here because this one already has a 2 and it would be like there's a GCF in the problem. And as you can see in the actual problem, there isn't one. So I would put the 3 here and the 2 there. That's my guess. Now my check. So multiply the outside, multiply the inside. The outside is 4x. The inside is 3x. Adding these two together, I get 7x, which is exactly what I want. Okay, so sometimes it turns out pretty nice. So they both have to be positive for this to be a 7x, and when that happens, if I multiply the positive 3 times a positive 2, I still get a positive 6. So 2x plus 3 and x plus 2. Try the next one and see how you do. So, right, so this, I believe, is the correct answer. Let's do the quick check. Outside, negative 4x. Inside, negative 5x. You add these together, you get negative 9x. You multiply these two together, you still get a positive 10. Done. There's the answer. All right. Have a great day.